That Chelsea lost to PSG was absolutely shocking. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Before I start, like, comment, share, subscribe, hype up the video. This is electric about football. Now, let's first talk about one positive I want to say before we start talking about the negatives. One positive is Enzo Fernandez. That guy is proper Chelsea. You saw that today. He was absolutely passionate. I think there was even a conversation he had, an argument with one of the players, I think Jorgensen. Not too sure about that. But anyways, his performance was absolutely insane. He got a great assist. A long looping cross, you could say, to Malo Gusto, who was somehow free on the other side of the box. And believe me, that didn't happen often that much for Chelsea. Kind of did for PSG though, that players were being free. Anyways, Malo Gusto went on to score. Enzo Fernandez, he got the second goal. It's what I wouldn't say trademark, but it's kind of stereotypical Enzo Fernandez goal. If you picture an Enzo Fernandez goal, it would be coming from the outside the box, coming inside the box, coming in from a low cross and getting in the back of the net, and made us go 2-2. After that, that's when the intensity dropped. Now let's talk about the goalkeeper situation, and especially that third goal. So, if you don't know, you should go watch the match. It was 2-2, and then Chelsea gave a sloppy goal for the third. You should watch it. It's absolutely shocking from what Chelsea did. What happened is one of the centre-backs, he passed to Jorgensen. He hesitated a little bit, and he accidentally passed to one of the PSG players. PSG, he got the ball, he passed it to, I think, in Dembele, then he passed it back to Vitinha, and then Vitinha lobbed him. And it was a shocking goal. And the blame shouldn't just go to Jorgensen. I think it should go to the defenders as well. But if you actually look at that goal, you should see where the defenders are. None of the defenders are in a place to receive a pass. 2 or 3 of them are blocked off. One is too far to the right side to actually make a pass. Even if they did go to the right side, it probably would have been blocked off. If you saw that goal. And yes, it is his fault. As much as it is his fault, it's the manager. Because Jorgensen, if you haven't been following Chelsea recently, our last 5 matches, we've had, I can't remember who played 3. I think Sánchez played 3 of them, Jorgensen has played 2 of them. He literally just made an appearance against Aston Villa. That's my most recent memory of him, is Aston Villa. He went in, and he did great. But this match showed that the chemistry there isn't with Jorgensen. Robert Sánchez, yes, he made those mistakes before, but we persisted with him. And with persisting with him, the defenders, they got used to how he played. And Jorgensen, he doesn't have that in a match level experience. And this was a big match, and that's where it costed him. Now, should he have even started? I think Robert Sánchez should have started. And I feel it's quite criminal what Rosenior has done. And Peter Schmeichel of CBS Sports Golazo, he was like, I think Rosenior has had a conversation saying that Jorgensen will be the number 1, which I think is really unfair. Robert Sánchez has been borderline world class. He's probably top 10 keepers because he's just been absolutely great. And he is a great keeper because he's on a great run of form. Jorgensen, he's actually a great keeper. But we've just played so much Robert Sánchez, the defenders know what to do. We don't make that kind of mistake now with Robert Sánchez as much as we used to. And that's where the problem lies. And the problem there lies with the board and Rosenior. Now, I'm assuming with what happened with Enzo Maresca was that the board, they picked the lineup, which is absolutely crazy that they could do that. And that's basically what happened. And I feel like what they're trying to do is, after the Aston Villa game, they were like, okay, Jorgensen, he had a great match, and we're going to play him against PSG. If he does great, it's going to be great. We can sell him on for a lot of money. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to play him in some big games, so other teams will be like, okay, good player. Just pay Chelsea a lot of money to get Jorgensen in. And to be fair, he's okay keeper. But I think this is where the directors have failed. How do we have 2 mid keepers and we're still struggling to decide who to start, decide who to sell? Next season we're going to Mike Penders in. It's going to add to the conversation. So I think that's the reason Jorgensen is starting, so we can go and sell him. So his value could increase, and then he can get sold, and we get Mike Penders in, and that's how it's going to work. But if you're going to do that, don't do that in Champions League. Premier League, you're kind of allowed to do that because it's a marathon. If you lose one game, it's the end of the world. Champions League, but today, we could have gone away with it being 3-2, and we would have been okay with that. But because he started, because he made that mistake, because of the lack of chemistry, we lost 5-2, and we have such a... we're going to have to perform phenomenal in the next leg. Pretty much flawless we have to be if we are going to go through to the quarterfinals. Now let's talk about Rosenior. Rosenior, he kind of did put out Chelsea's best lineup, which is arguable, debatable, whatever. And I think the lineup wasn't okay. No, sorry, I think the lineup was okay. It wasn't that bad. But substitutions, that kind of killed us off. The match, it was 3-2 at the time, and it was kind of going back and forth. You're going to be like, it's a possession-based system with both teams. How are they going back and forth? It kind of was going back and forth. And when you go back and forth, you can't afford to put your foot off the gas. That's kind of what they did. And PSG went up 3-2. Rosenior was like, okay, João Pedro, Cole Palmer, the people who could make something out of nothing, come off. We're going to put in the Lap and Lavia. Which, if it was a match which was, nothing much was happening, it wasn't going that back and forth, I would have understood, protect the lead. But they came on, and it eventually ended up going 5-2. If they had stayed, maybe we could have got a goal. With João Pedro, he's been in incredible form. And Cole Palmer, he's slowly getting better. And I feel like if he had subbed them off, we would have had a chance. It could have been 5-4. It could have been 5-3. We would have had a better chance. I think that's where he made a mistake, in my opinion. He's getting a fair bit of criticism, which is kind of fair. But I don't think he's all to blame, to be honest. I feel it's a board. Every issue just goes to the board, to be honest. Defense not good, board. Goalkeeper not good, board. Striker depth, board. Wingers, the board. BlueCo, maybe we're still early to the project. I see that's been, 3 years now. But we need more depth. We need more players, which is crazy to say as Chelsea. But anyways. And for the next leg, do we think we're going through Chelsea? I think we will. Okay, maybe not. No, I think we have a chance. But the thing about Chelsea is we win when it's unexpected. You look at the 2012 Champions League. No one really expected us to go through, even from the round of 16. We need like 3 goals from the Napoli game, 3 clear goals. And we came through somehow. And in that 2012 run, we had to play Barcelona. We somehow beat Barcelona in second leg with 10 men. Got to remember that. Champions League final. That was the epitome of Chelsea winning when it's not expected to. We scored in the last minute, pretty much, and we won on penalties. Didier Drogba. The most recent Champions League win, 2021. No one expected us to win. Genuinely, and Thomas Tuchel made us win. Enzo Maresca and the Club World Cup. Who would have thought Chelsea would beat PSG? I did, to be honest. I actually did think we'd win. But we did go and win. No one else expected him. So don't count Chelsea out. We are great. I think Chelsea, we definitely do have a chance. If the players can perform to the expected levels, to an insane level, at the ability, I think genuinely Chelsea can go through. It's going to be a very hard ask though. And I do want Robert Sánchez in for the next game. Not for the Newcastle game, sorry, for the PSG game. For the next game is Newcastle, and I feel like it's going to be hard balancing Newcastle and PSG. But anyways, I think we should go a bit rotate for Newcastle and then go all out for PSG. Even though I do think we're not going through. And one other thing I do want to say is I wish Maresca was still at Chelsea. Rosenior, yeah, he's great, but I must say he's had an easy run of games. And the games he was expected to lose, he did lose. I'm not hating on him, but I don't know, I wish we had Enzo Maresca. I feel like maybe we wouldn't have guaranteed to win. We would have had a much better chance with Maresca. He knows how to beat PSG. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're going through to the next round? I think we are. Have belief, have hope. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's Electric about football. Thank you for doing so.